Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And today is Monday, November 28th, and the moon has shifted into Libra. That occurred at 3:56 a.m. on the east coast of the U.S. So as I woke up this morning, the moon was in Libra. Of course, Libra is a different energy than the previous Virgo moon. Virgo is mental, and it is an energy of perfecting. And Libra is more relational, of course. It is the sign most associated with relationship, although Scorpio also is the sign associated with relationship, but a different vibe. Today we have a lot of activity with, actually over the next few days we have a lot of activity with Neptune. Today the big story is Mars making a trine to Neptune. Mars is in Scorpio, Neptune is in Pisces. This is what we call a waning trine, a trine of understanding. It is associated, it's a Sagittarius side trine. So again, we're bringing in the Sagittarius energy, even though neither one of those planets are in Sagittarius. And of course, they're both in water signs. So with trines, there's a flow that can't be staunched. And so for those of you who live in areas where there may be a lot of rain coming, or you may live close to a river or some body of water, if there is some sort of weather event, there is a possibility of flooding. So I don't know who that would apply to. We're not supposed to get rain here, so it's not here, but I thought I would mention it. There can be an overflowing of feelings, and I guess depending on the feelings that you have, depends on sort of what you're going to pour on to people. This, oftentimes Neptune, there's a warning around Neptune, especially when it's connected to Mars. But there are certain aspects in which Mars and Neptune work very well together, and this is probably the one that's most true. Whether it be a waxing or a waning trine. So we actually have a lot of highly spiritualized energy here, and that of course can bring a lot of healing. And the trine in its nature is one of understanding. So we have a real opportunity for some genuine heartfelt healing at this time. We also have the sun and the moon making a sextile to one another. This is the 300-degree sextile. Sextiles are opportunistic. They are mentally stimulating, and this particular sextile really speaks of an ability to move forward in a progressive direction, where it's an Aquarian sextile, so it has that Aquarius energy, and at its best, the Aquarius energy can be about raising all boats. So we may see some progress in some sort of direction, either politically or even personally, where we're willing to help one another. And as each individual improves, the whole collective improves. We also have a opposition today between the moon in Libra and Chiron in Aries. We have a realization or an awakening or an awareness around wounds of identity, perhaps an understanding of that, and perhaps we'll move in a better direction once we understand that, everybody has their thing, and everybody has the thing that they're sort of battling with, although Chiron in Aries isn't always just about that. But at this point, it certainly is. Like the wound of individuality what that engenders in people, what it engenders in people when they're not recognized for their individuality, and how you can use that need to individuate and such, that in a way that can actually wound you and wound others. So there's that realization as well. A lot of realizations this week. The moon also makes a supportive trine to Saturn today. That brings more emotional stability to the day. And we also have a trine between Mercury and Chiron. So we can talk about our wounds. We have an awareness with the moon. And then with Mercury trine and Chiron, we have an opportunity to share some things. And it is a Sagittarius side trine. So there's a lot of points of understanding at this time if we're willing to keep an open mind and an open heart. Now this week, in 2 days, on the 1st of December, Neptune stations direct, so it's been retrograde, so it's actually pretty much standing still in the sky. So when these outer planets stand still in the sky, there's a lot of power in them. There's a lot of power in them anyway, but they're especially powerful when they reach their stations. So be aware of that. Be aware of the weather. Neptune can bring some pretty intense weather patterns to the fore, so just be aware. All right, guys, have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe, and much love to you all. Take care, everyone. Namaste.